Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the channel. Um, Today was a rough day for AMC, down 9%. Um, and we were talking about the past few days, we've been talking about the fair value trend line that I had drawn based on the price action surrounding it. Basically, when price was below, historically, it was oversold, and when it was above, historically, it may have been oversold. You can see how when it climbs over here, it has to come back and retest this fair value line. And what we did was we came back down and we've been testing this fair value trend. And today, AMC got a rejection off of it. So let's dive into the technicals. And you can see here that literally price came up to it and just got rejected right down here on the daily. And on the daily candle, we do have a new low established, a lower low. But if you include after hours trading, you still don't technically have a lower low. I'll show you that here. So if you put on extended hours, you still do have an absolute lower low that happened on pre-market here of December 14th, which is $20.31. So this is definitely going to be the line to watch going into tomorrow and next week. No doubt about it. You're going to be watching this $20.31 to see how price reacts at this level, because breaking this trend line, it's not the end all be all. It doesn't say, oh, you broke the trend line, now you can never come back. You see a lot of head fake type moves, right? You see a lot of moves that will break the bottom of a trend line and then swoop right back above, because that is like the zone where the bears make their final push, and vice versa too. Bulls can make their final push to the upside, and then it gets broken down like that, and then bulls swoop in and say, okay, we're no longer taking any more. You can see a swift move up as a reaction to that. Am I saying that that's necessarily going to happen? No, we're gonna dig into the chart here, and then we're gonna come to our own conclusions based on that. And then obviously you're gonna have to do your own due diligence and come up with your own conclusions as well. Holy shit! Sorry. Whoa. It's like ripping like right now while I'm recording the video. Holy shit. So yeah, anyway, I can show you an interesting Doge thing at the end of this that correlates with AMC as well, but but holy shit, that's crazy that that's happening right now. But yeah, sorry about the late night video as well. I've been watching the kids all day, so was just kind of busy with that. So you can see here, I mean, you traded sideways here for, I mean, really, you have not, especially in regular hours, you have not left basically this box at all of $21.49 to $23, so $1.50 range basically. You didn't leave at all. Other than this post-market pump that you had here, you came right back in, you were trading it, we had this trend line drawn, and now you've broken below and you broke out of this little channel that you had going here, right? So let's narrow in on the smaller time frames and see what we possibly have developing. We'll look at some patterns too, because I know we were looking at wedges and stuff like that before. Yeah, you have, I mean, this is your new, basically your short-term downtrend here, which is intense. This is not a sustainable downtrend for sure. I mean, obviously it's sustainable to some degree. It's going to sustain itself, but it won't be like that forever. It's entirely too vertical. Yeah, I mean, look, really, you're playing levels right now. That's the game that you're in. Like, I mean, we're gonna draw patterns, but I'll tell you right now, the most important thing is you see a reaction at this $20.31. If you come down and test this, you have to have a bullish reaction. What's Max Payne tomorrow? Because I know tomorrow's Friday. See if Max Payne will be on your side. Let's see, Max Payne. So tomorrow, Max Payne is $23. I'd imagine after this move that it's going to probably be lower to like 22. I know that I listened to Tyler's video, Tyler Wilson Investing, whenever I was driving. I was just listening to it, and I did hear him say that there were a lot of options, a lot of puts that were there for $22. So I mean, that could be fortunate. That could be to your benefit, because if you really, if you're gonna come here and test this zone, you need to see a reaction. And when in perhaps Max Payne for bears, even they're gonna be sitting there going, like, oh, it's it's fine, like, drive the price up. We want to close around our Max Payne point, right? Market makers. And then I mean, if that happens, so that's what I would expect to happen, honestly. Like, I think that maybe in pre-market you have a push down. It really depends on what SPY is doing. And then you could have this kind of climb throughout the day up to about $22, probably just below it. If that is what happens, you can create a lower low here. That's fine. And that's what we talked about, right? So if you're new to the channel, what we were talking about for the longest time is the most likely scenario that we had was that we would turn around here somewhere around this $24 range, right? This Fibonacci golden pocket. Our second most likely scenario was this actually becomes a phase B distribution in Wyckoff. So if you're not familiar with Wyckoff, I can just draw it right quick. Basically, this would turn into a sell climax, or really you could say this was a sell climax. This was a sell test. This is an automatic reaction right here, or automatic rally is another way to put it. And then this was a phase B distribution. And basically, what happens in that phase B is that the goal is accumulation. Okay, so you fight price down here, you scare people out, you buy up, cause a price rally. Okay, and in this price rally, you're selling, but you're keeping the price up using volume, using some buying pressure. But the whole time you're creating these lower highs, and then you send the price down. Boom, we sent the price down here, and then we have this little rally here, but we're not really going to count that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It can be there, sure. You have that price rally, and then you drive down here. And the situation that we were talking about, I'll show you the schematic now. I think it's so the situation we were talking about is that you could have kind of a spring where you break the bottom of the trading range, like you see on that schematic that you're looking at there. Let me take. Let's go to regular hours. So yeah, so sell climax, automatic reaction, sell test. You have a phase B distribution. You could call this a sell test in phase B if you want to. You come back down and retest. These are both sell tests for sure. And now you're in the bottom of this range. You push down, test below the range, as you see there with the spring in phase C on the shorter time frames. And then the target that we did have like a 1950, right? So let's see. And that was based on Fibonacci. So for a long time, we have talked about, I believe, measured here. Yeah. So your 0.5 Fibonacci, when you measure from the bottom of the buy button collapse to the top of the $72 run in June, was $19.59. That could be your perfect bounce point right there. That would be the local spring in this Wyckoff accumulation, potential Wyckoff accumulation schematic. And the third situation that we talked about was that, in fact, this becomes a redistribution, okay, instead of an accumulation. And we're going to look at OBV and shit, too. Sorry, I don't mean to curse. Sorry, that's kind of a meme on the channel. It could be a redistribution where this is your new downtrend, and what's happening is they're using this as keeping people in the game while they're selling off even more. And if that was the case, then what you'd be looking at is just like in January or February, really, when you had that run down, You see how you swoop below that 0.5 Fibonacci and you hang above the 0.618? Remember, this was the buy button collapse, okay? If you measure the Fibonacci that same way, okay? If the same thing was to occur, and this should go to show you how oversold, like how much selling has happened in this stock. I mean, it's really profound, honestly. Like it is a lot of selling, and we can look at RSI and shit to. Oh, I'm sorry about cursing. I'm in a mood right now. Holy cow. Uh, but you can see that a lot of selling has occurred. You could hang up here in this region and here, because last time you didn't actually touch the 618 Fibonacci. You hung below the 0.5 for a period of time, right? And I'm not saying, like, don't focus on the time here, but I'm just saying that this sort of thing could happen where you reaccumulate. You get that kind of price action swinging back and forth, holding you in a pretty stiff zone here, and we could probably find another Fibonacci to justify this bottom here, most likely. It just looks right, honestly. Yeah, so like if you measured it from this, like before the rally, you kind of get this 618, and you're hanging down below there above the 707. That makes a lot of sense. Let me see if we just made this like the same thing, if that's what kind of happened. No. Now I'm just curious now, sorry. I mean, you could say that this was like where you broke. Fibonacci's are weird. Like there's a lot of different ways to use Fibonacci's. But yeah, you could say where you broke like this resistance, boom, that's where you're measuring the Fibonacci from. You did like a similar thing, where you hung above. But regardless, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I think that again, I said that this was the least likely scenario. I still think that it is less likely than if you were to just turn around somewhere in that 1950 range. But I think that that's what you see. I think that opening, you see selling. Yeah, I think pre-market you see selling. And then you come down and you test this kind of $19 to $20 range. Maybe you finally get that lower low. You want it to be on low volume. Low volume is preferable, and then that would be essentially established as potentially the spring that sends the price back upward, and then you continue up along this trend, and you want to break this downtrend that you're in right here, like this local red line that I have drawn right here. Get these lines off of the chart. And you want to continue on this uptrend to validate this, okay? And you're gonna still have some work to do, okay? Like, cause you have this overall, right? This larger downtrend that you've been fighting, right? So once you break up here, I mean, probably sometime in look, you know that AMC can be explosive, right? We've seen it in the past, and I mean, now you're building up some liquidity here too, which is good. You're building up volume in the range, and I'll show you that. Sorry, I'm bouncing around a little bit here. I've said that I'm going to show you something like 20 freaking times this video. But yeah, so see how this part of the range is really empty. This gap right here, and I'm not going to adjust it, but this 19.50 to like $22.50 gap is like the lowest candle here. You're building up this volume in here now, which is really good, because you've already built a lot of trading up here above. And what that means is once you reestablish your support at the bottom, it's easier to justify further moves up because you've already established so much volume in these ranges already, if that makes sense. So those are the things that I'm looking for the most part. Let's look at OBV. I know Tyler was kind of saying that OBV was looking bearish. Doge. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to take a closer look at that. Really running right now. Oh man, yeah, the OBV. OBV now looking pretty tough because I know we were looking at. No way, man. There's no way. Hold on, let's look at the daily. Maybe the daily will be clear in the night. That'll be my starting point. Because you're looking for. You had this uptrend, yeah. So the daily, you had this uptrend. And obviously, all time frames matter. So I'm not discounting the 4 hour, okay? Like I'm not looking for confirmation. I just wanted to get a better starting point. You have this uptrend. So now, I mean, really, this is the trend, right? You really tomorrow, if you have a red day, you want there to be less. You want to try and stay above this. You want there to be less than, what is this? Yeah, 4.87. You want it to be relatively low volume. You want to hold this trend, definitely, because this is, in my opinion, this is the strongest argument for AMC right now is the OBV. The on balance volume is just so suggestive that there is accumulation happening, and if you don't hold this line and you break below here, and you create like eventually a lower low, like a lower low than this here, this line, well then that is pretty suggestive that selling is overpowering this region of the chart, and they bought this just so that they could sell some more shares up here just to send the price lower. So you definitely want to hold this. This trend line has to stick. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be watching that for sure. Let's do the equivalent on the day, on the 4 hour. Sorry. I can take this off. Hopefully it didn't block out the OBP. I'm sure you got the idea. Gotta be a quick. I wasn't such a loser. All right, so there's your trend line. You could say, yeah, I mean you've broken, yeah, you've broken the uptrend on 4 hour significantly. So selling is definitely the wave here recently. Let me look at the regular volume candles and yeah, you can see here. See these big red candles? That's not good. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, so it's going to be an uphill battle. You need to see this sort of reaction from bulls. You need a big green volume spike. And even if the price doesn't move too much, and you just get back to like 22.50, 23, you want that thing to be loaded up. That green candle, you want a high green volume candle. You want to see these sorts of reactions, these sort of $100 million days. I mean, 100 million volume days, sorry. This was 41 million today, which is okay. I mean, the volume is still relatively low, especially for AMC, and what we've seen historically. I mean, we've seen hundreds of million in volume. So, yeah, that's pretty much the update. I'm still watching this trend line. Like, I'm not taking this trend line off of my chart. I think that this trend line is going to be key. As going forward, seeing that swing back up, to continue this upwards trend that started pretty much back in March of 2020. Even though you had this downtrend within it, it still was the overwhelming, right? The chart overwhelmingly preferred this median trend over any other trend line. So that's what we're going to be looking for. That's the update. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Oh, let me show you the Doge comparison thing. Dude, Doge is trading above 19 cents right now. Holy shit. It's crazy, dude. What the hell? I was charting this on Twitter. Dude, it just blasted right through this zone. Like it didn't even care about 1850. What the hell? Sorry. So Doge kind of has the same chart. Let me take all this off. So if you, I guess I can pull them side by side. This is some crazy stuff right here. And actually, it's two scenarios that are the same, which is even more pleasant, I guess. I just love that you can do this. Like this is the funnest new game to play in the stock market is finding charts that are exactly the same as each other. I love it so much. I love that this is a thing now for me to do. But yeah, so this is how you want to look at the chart, right? So it's ridiculous. Okay, so you got this and this. Maybe you would say here. And then you have this. Change the color of this, maybe. LSU, go Tigers. This. And you have this. I mean, this is crazy stuff. I mean, this is pretty high detail too. Like I'm sitting here, you know, I'm spinning, I'm putting it, I'm granulizing this. Let's see, orange. That's not purple. We already used purple. Blue. Right, and then blue. Right. And then you have this thingy. And this thingy. What color did we make this? Pink. It's too close to red. Oh. Teal. Yeah, sure. Even though that's literally blue, but. Boom. And then, yeah, now you have this thingy that has happened. And green. That's a great color that we haven't used. Potential? I mean, it's something. You know, I don't know if this has any meaning in life and in reality, but it's certainly something interesting to look at, you know, Doge's sell off. Also, one of my followers tweeted and said, or no, not one of my followers. It was one of Jen Colado's followers on his stream. You know, $73 or 73 cents for Doge, and then the peak for AMC was 72.67, which is, you know, almost 73. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like it really is like are they trolling or something? Like what's going on? But yeah, so that's something interesting to take home with you. Maybe you can go play around with the chart yourself. I'm not trying to spread hopium or anything, by the way. This is just, you know, I just somebody sent it to me and I was like, holy shit. Oh, and then the other one is if you okay, the other one is this. Okay, so this is Doge, and then AMC. Is this standard? Am I in linear? Is this in linear? No, this is in log. Well, that might have caused some issues. Let's see if it looks the same. Now I'm curious now. Sorry. This is a Dave classic right here. I've been doing the shorter videos lately. Can you let me know if you like the shorter videos or the longer videos? Like, do you have a preference? Because I was doing like breaking down like shorter, you know, different ideas and stuff. So maybe I can do videos like that instead, because I know people complain about how long videos are. Yeah, you can see here. And then the other thing was that this, and I can't remember the name of the account, dude. Oh no, maybe I shouldn't cover this because I don't want to not give him credit. Hold on. I know what it is. It's Trading with Emotion, I think. I think it's Trading W Emotion. Handle him. Yeah. Go find. Make sure he gets, no. Yeah, Trading W Emotion. He was looking at this. So this is AMC before the January rally. And he was comparing. Yeah, I can see it right now. Hold on. So, and this is to Doge. again. Uh, yeah, I gotta make this more vertical. That's what it is. All right, so then just to simplify it, so I'm not sitting here doing this all night because I gotta go. It's like 11 o'clock. My fiance's gonna. So this move here be like the purple, and then yeah, this is the blue, like this. And then maybe this. Yeah, blue. Like this. No. Hold on. I can pull up. Well, he didn't really do it like that either. That's why it's a little bit trickier. Like he wasn't using that same method. He was literally putting the charts like right on top of each other, which is hysterical.
It's like, dude, I don't know
if you guys can hear this or not.
This
but
looks a lot like Doge. Oh my.
So yeah, so if you can't hear him, he's saying, I don't know why, but this looks a lot like Doge. And the bottom chart is AMC. Holy quality, this is terrible. The bottom chart is it's Twitter, not trading with emotion, but the bottom is AMC before January. Yeah, that's what it is. And then the top is Doge, obviously.
So I took this and I was like, dude, I don't know why, but like this looks a lot like Doge. Oh my.
Like, look at this. What?
No way. No way.
He's like shocked. He's like, no way. Like he basically saw it live on his stream or whatever. But yeah, so that's pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, so it's kind of a similar, you know, you're kind of in a similar kind of basket, right? You're kind of in the same kind of spot where you're kind of doing this double bottomy where maybe you create one lower low sort of situation. And it's not necessarily like, I mean, it is Wyckoff, right? Like this is accumulation, right? This is that schematic that I was just showing you. It's probably a little bit more of an exhausted, kind of crazy looking version, but it's the same thing. You have the same element. Sell climax, automatic reaction, sell test, phase B distribution, and then this is your basically a spring, right? And you'll see this schematic everywhere. Like, I mean, it's on every stock. It's got its own little kind of tweaks and versions to it, but it's on every stock. It's on every crypto. Bitcoin literally did one back here. Put you on the daily chart. Yeah. So here, like it's the same thing right here. Right, sell climax. You probably say automatic reaction here, sell test. I mean, it's literally every single. We'll do accumulations and distributions. It's like it's a thing for sure. And then that's any markup. So yeah, that's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Without me rambling on anymore too much, I did start a Patreon. I uploaded my first video to it. If you want to support the channel, you can go check me out there. I'm going to be uploading, I'll probably do at least like 2 or 3 extra videos a week on there. I want to do an extra video a day there. That would be the goal, but I just got to see if it's really like, you know, worth the time, or like if it even works, if I have the ability to do that, right? But yeah, so go check that out. It's in the description down below. It'll be the same as my channel, David Marino Jr., like patreon.com/David Marino Jr., so you can check that out. Obviously, you don't have to support me, and I will upload the content later on for free. But it'll be like an early access kind of thing, and it'll be more like, it's not like plays or anything. It's like I'm going to be digging into markets and looking at the history of markets, et cetera, et cetera. So If that's something you're interested in, make sure you check that out. If you hate that idea of me even doing that or whatever, you can also say that in the comments down below. Let me know. I know a lot of people were saying, "Oh, until AMC's over, I'm not doing anything other than AMC." You know, blah blah blah. Like I get that, and I know everybody doesn't have the means, but I just think that for me to justify the amount of time that I'm spending on content creation and stuff like that, I have to be able to kind of build out a better foundation, so that it's a little bit. Holy shit, Doge is like absolutely like ripping right now. Holy shit. Whoa. Damn, dude. So yeah, that's definitely something to be looking at right now because it's about to break above this trading range. You can see here too, like this is kind of an accumulation, right? A shorter. Dude, that is like a really crazy. I've been following it on Twitter like very closely. This is a really crazy contextual candle. But yeah, so you got the same thing. Look, you got your sell climax, kind of like crazy. It's not really easy though, like to follow it as it's happening. It's a little bit trickier just because it can kind of go either way. Like I talked about in the video before earlier, like you can have it'll look like accumulation and then it turns out that it was actually distribution or they don't get the volume that they were looking for whenever they try and push it. Like right now, if basically they can't find any buyers at this price, holy shit, it's absolutely ripping. If they can't find any buyers at this price, then they'll say, "Oh, well, we need to go down and accumulate at lower levels, et cetera, et cetera." This would be a spring where you break the bottom of the trading range and then boom, and you're having like your markup phase. So you can see this pretty much everywhere. But yeah, so that's the video. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Hopefully you enjoyed. And until next time.